everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Millionaire TV. There are only two best talk shows in the whole entire world, and you have just tuned into one of them. Yes, the ABS show. Before we get into the topic, I would like you guys to subscribe to the channel. Yes, and then after that, go on Instagram and follow us at the ABS show. You guys look adorable. You got your hair. Yes.
Oh, I just want to say that I was gifted these earrings all the way from London.
Yes.
From Vitella's boutique. She
Shout out.
handcrafted them. Thank you so much.
Oh,
check it out.
Butellas.
Yes, Vitella
Okay.
Boutiques, we thank you. All right, so let's dig into today's topic. Yazzie, give it to us. What is going on?
Yes, I am very, very sad to report that my cousins from Nigeria lost in the World Cup.
That's why I'm wearing black.
What happened? What happened in the World Cup?
I was really rooting for Nigeria, of course. I had no other choice. I was rooting for Senegal and Nigeria. I had no other choice because, of course, Ghana wasn't in the World Cup. And I had a lot of hope because, you know, we were being backed. You know, Diddy had our back, Naomi Campbell, everybody. So I really was hoping that we would win, but unfortunately, we lost against
Argentina.
And it's been a 24-year history with this Argentina. You know, Argentina and Nigeria, it's like every World Cup.
We fall in the same group.
Exactly. And Nigeria has lost 4 times.
Right.
No, Nigeria has only won 4 times.
Right.
Out of like
all the time.
out of like 20.
Yeah.
Wait,
which
Nigeria
is
has
not
won
good.
The World Cup
Argentina.
before?
No,
Oh.
they've won the match with Argentina, which is not so good. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is my fellow Nigerians didn't want to take this loss with, you know,
Yeah, like a fair play.
pride.
Because it
And
wasn't a fair play.
It wasn't a fair play,
It
my
wasn't
love.
fair
So why do you guys
at all.
feel like it wasn't a fair play?
they say that the referee
Yeah,
was,
actually, it
The
was.
referee was biased because there were so many free kicks that they were supposed to give us. I watched the game. There was a handball there, and he went to the screen to look, and they told him, "Don't give it to Nigeria." He said, "No handball."
They actually changed the law on the pitch then.
Exactly.
Because there was a previous match before that day, a Japan match, and the same thing happened with a handball, and the ref there actually called the shots. But in the Nigerian match, it happened in the penalty act, and that was supposed to be penalty, but the referee didn't call it. So people were saying, so you were looking for free penalty. Apart from penalty, why didn't you guys score at other opportunities, which is fair enough.
Yes.
Because Igalo, I don't know whether he had too much sex that night before the game. Trust me, he had 2 chances to give us a goal, and
he
he messed it
flopped.
up.
So that was my main thing, that I agree that the referee might have been a little biased, but Nigeria still should have gone with their A game and should have been able to score more goals without the penalty, and the penalty should have been extra. And that's why I want to bring this topic up, because it's like all the African teams, I feel like they're not trained enough. You know, like the coaches, the training, and I know this because I know some people that play on the team, and the players themselves, they complain about it. They're like, look, when we're playing for our leagues in Europe, when we go for training, it's like
Rigorous.
on point, it's rigorous. When you go for the African training, it's like they're playing Ampe. You know, Ampe. Seriously, it's literally like a joke. You know what I mean? So we need to work on that. That's number 1. Number 2, I blame Nigerian officials, Nigerian government, and Ghana government as well, because I don't think the ref would dare do that to the USA.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Because we're disrespected. That's all.
Because
That's
nobody
all.
has respect for us. But how are they going to have respect for us if we always have our hand out? We're always asking the Western world for help. It's all of this corruption. We don't have the right roads. They have no respect for us whatsoever. And
Who doesn't have the respect for you guys?
other countries don't have respect for
international-
I
Africa.
disagree.
The international community has no respect for Africans.
You
They
guys
have
know I
no
disagree
respect for
because we
us.
spoke about it behind the scenes. I feel like you're looking for respect from abroad. The country don't respect their players. I feel like the authorities don't respect
Yeah, but
their
that's
players.
what I said as well. Yeah.
So I'm not blaming
But
anybody
it's
but
not just-
that.
it's not-
Because
it's-
let
okay.
me finish, please. I'm not blaming anybody but that. What I'm saying is, if you take care of your players, they will go above and beyond. Pay them what they need to be
Yeah.
paid. That way, when they get on stage,
Yeah.
they're not feeling like they are working for chicken change. Do you
And
understand
pay
what
them
I'm
on
saying?
time, treat them right,
Yeah.
put them in. But it all goes down to officials. I mean, the government, the team officials. It's all one thing. Like, we don't do things right. We can't do things in a
haphazard way. But another thing that I still wanted to point out is that, like you said, corruption. There's something I would say that a lot of people have not been talking about. Some fans actually traveled to Russia from Nigeria for this tournament.
Yes.
And they claim that they gave them a budget of 100 million naira to cover everything, expenses. But fans got there on the day of that match and they couldn't get into the field. They couldn't buy tickets. They were selling tickets $500 per person. Imagine you for a ticket of like $49, they're selling it for $500. So they even took corruption to Russia.
No, but FIFA
That's
has
why
always
in the
had
field,
corruption.
if you watch the match that day, there were less Nigerians in the field because they couldn't get in to give their players the morale that they needed.
And if you know what soccer is, most players feed off
the crowd, you know, the
you know what I
energy
mean?
that is coming
But
around
Davido
them.
actually made a post. He was like, he was in the stadium and it was 95% Argentina.
Argentines,
People
right.
screaming at the top of their lungs the whole 92 minutes.
But the funny thing is, the government has a budget to send
They
Nigerians
actually
there
give them
and
something.
didn't do it. Again, goes back to what I'm talking about, the corruption. When are our leaders going to realize what they stop being selfish and stop thinking about themselves and their
Alone.
families and think about our continent? Forget thinking about Nigeria alone, because Nigeria going far in the World Cup is a big deal for all of Africa.
Exactly.
You understand? So this is something, this is how we all need to look at it, and this is how they need to look at it. Honestly, if I was the players, I would go on strike and I would refuse to play because this is ridiculous. It makes no sense for me, a player, to risk getting injured. Remember that you're all playing for like outside leagues. So I'm going to risk being injured because I want to be patriotic for my
my
country.
country. Right.
And
That
for my
doesn't
country,
respect
not
you.
to even give me the tools and the resources that I need to succeed, including bringing people,
Bringing the fans, at least to
to
fill
the
up half
match.
of the stage, to
Yeah.
give them the morale, because everything was just not in their favor that day. There were
so
no
bad.
fans on stage. There was politics. People said FIFA wanted Argentina to win the match because
They want them to buy
because
tickets.
of ratings, so they could sell more tickets. Because a lot of people actually traveled to Russia. So if Argentina goes home, they will lose tickets. The stadium would not be full for the next
Yes.
and the next round. So everything was just haphazard.
I was really rooting for an African country to win so bad because they have never won, and I was like, it's big for me. It's bigger than Nigeria. I really
Yeah.
wanted them to do
Even
this for Africa.
Senegal.
Even after Nigeria was out, I was rooting for Senegal. I was really hoping Senegal would do it, but there was a whole bunch of controversy in their match as well. It was just, and they are really good players.
Senegal had equal points with Japan, but due to some rules, they said Japan would go through and Senegal wouldn't go through.
Again, it boils down to respect. But listen, there's still one African country though, France. France is still in the World
There's a
Cup.
lot of black people
Listen,
there.
Forget black people. There are a lot of Africans.
They're all
like
Africans.
no
Nice.
French, no real French person looks like most of the team. The team is like 85% of
I think
Africans.
there's
So
one white dude there.
I saw maybe two.
But
or
you know
three, I
when you know
think.
when Africa is actually going to win the World Cup? When the trumpet sounds.
Well,
Whoa.
do you guys think that maybe we should host it and maybe something will change?
We
Host
have.
it,
South
yeah.
Africa has hosted and nothing
And
still
nothing
happened.
happened. Oh well. Good
They
luck.
were playing with no Africans.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so there's been a breaking news, y'all. Nigeria has been ranked number 9 on the most dangerous country for women.
Ew.
Yes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious like cancer. What do you guys think about this
What was
story?
wrong to it?
What happened?
All right, so-
Who's rating them? What on that?
All right, so the report was released by Thomson Reuters Foundation. Nigeria made the list alongside India, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Afghanistan, and they basically measured this based on what Nigerian practice. So when it comes to things that are harmful to women, such as acid attacks, female mutilation, forced marriage, child marriage, and also I think recently the SARS
Yeah.
abuse to women. So what do you guys think about? Do you guys agree?
You guys have the platform
Because
for
a
this
lot
one
of
now.
I saw a lot of comments, and most Nigerians said, they were not surprised by this.
It's not surprising.
There's nothing to defend here. Why would you be
Exactly.
defending the obvious or trying to embarrass yourself on TV for people that are even disappointing you in the first place?
It's clear just from even just looking at our leaders, at our government. Look at how many women are in the cabinet. A woman wanted to run for Ekiti governor, and
governorship.
the title was woman enters race for governorship. It's like it's a big deal.
Big
You know,
deal.
like they were shocked. They were gasping. Like, really? A woman is running for office. We're still trying to do women in politics. Every other day, there's a conference trying to get women involved in politics, women empowerment, trying to help them. Lagos State opened something for women affairs, you know, a court for women affairs to report sexual abuse and everything. Women are still at the end of the totem pole in Nigeria in all ramifications. So I'm not surprised about it at all. Everybody just wants to sit right on the backs of women in Nigeria especially, and they don't respect them for whatsoever reason. If you're a successful woman and you look good, they're going to insult you, call you a shower.
They must tag it to something. There must be a reason for your success.
It can't be that you did something.
It's not from your brain.
Exactly. It can't be that you did something or you're stronger enough. No, some man must be giving you a pedestal to stand on, and it's so disrespectful.
I didn't think it was that bad because first of all, for it to be number 9, that's pretty high.
Yeah,
in
with all the countries in the
for it to be
world.
number 9.
I mean, 200 girls were
be for
kidnapped in
women.
2014. 100 girls were kidnapped last year.
I know,
mean,
but there are
this
worse
year.
things happening in Afghanistan and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but
so
it's
for
not
me
gender.
to think
It's
that
not gender specific.
Exactly.
You understand? But in Nigeria, when it comes to people that are being taken advantage of, we're talking about the gender that we are actually taking advantage of and
Of the
preying on
women.
them, you know?
So girls were kidnapped 2014. Girls were kidnapped this year, right? That's like already 300 girls already disadvantaged. Forget about that. The people that have been displaced by the Boko Haram crisis in the IDP camps, right? There was an investigative report that came out that soldiers actually sleep with these girls in exchange for food, just for them to eat. Half of the girls are pregnant by soldiers. Some of them are pregnant by former Boko Haram terrorists, or, you know, when they left captivity. All of this in IDP camps. So think of all the women that are going through that, because most of the men are not really in those camps. They're out looking for work, you know, trying to do something. It's only women and children that are there. So to eat, instead of the government to figure out how to make sure they're getting food, the soldiers in charge of these camps ask them to exchange sex or
for
favors just to feed them, and they will do it. And they say, "Oh, the soldier promised to marry me. Well, he's gone now. I'm pregnant." And then of course their own women in those camps will shame them, like, "You're pregnant, you're not married, and it's a taboo." Bye.
But for me, this is really, really sad. I need the women in Nigeria with the huge platform to stand up to do something about it.
No,
They
forget
try
the
their
women.
best.
what about the men?
The men.
Obviously,
The men have to
are
protect them.
but the
But
men
they
are not
have
doing
to.
anything
The
right
men
now.
are supposed to be there to protect the women,
Uphold
to
them.
encourage the women. You know, the woman is your queen. She is the lioness.
But they're not doing it.
well,
So how
they
do we
need
move
to.
forward?
They need to. Well, they
Yeah,
need
the way
to.
this is
They
the way we
need
move
to.
forward, because the only way we will move forward is for stuff like this to be out there for the world to know, because the men are hiding the women, killing the women, taking advantage of the women. I even have a friend in high school. Her mom was big in politics in Delta State. Just as soon as Ifeanyi Okowa won the governorship, she was supposed to have a big position and she was assassinated.
Wow.
That's how they ended her life, meaning that, you know, you can't go there, you know?
Yeah.
But if it was a man, I don't think he would be killed. You understand? So this is the platform. The world has to know what is really happening so that women can be protected.
And for Nigerians, they don't really want to shake body on any matter unless you embarrass them.
Exactly.
Do you
They will shake
understand?
body. Or unless that one, they will shake their body too.
Yeah.
This is very sad.
But
It's
let's
very,
also
very sad. We
keep
need
in
more
mind
women in
that-
power, I feel like.
That Nigeria is a very, very large country as
Yes,
well. They're
yes.
like, I think the last census had like 180 million.
Plus.
And now we're
So
average
that was like
190
5-6
million.
years ago.
Exactly.
And then I'm sure there are people like in the rural areas and stuff, people overseas. So there are a lot of Nigerians, and I love Nigerians because Nigerians are very strong, they're determined, intelligent as well. And I think that you guys can really come together and do something, especially those that are overseas. You know, you have to go back. Like, I have a very good friend that's a doctor, and he goes back. He goes back to Nigeria and he does a lot of community work, a lot of free things for the people as a doctor. And that's what we need to encourage, because this is very, very, very bad. And definitely, I really hope that your current government doesn't win the next election.
Unfortunately, they
We
will.
all hope.
They
We all
will.
hope.
Unfortunately,
I
they
really
will.
Don't say
hope,
that. Don't say
because
that.
these are bad from, like, you know, again, with Nigeria being, I think Nigeria's, what is it? It's like the central of Africa or something like that. So much
They say
business.
giant of
Yeah,
Africa.
because so much
Economic-
business
it used
goes
to be
through
the,
the-
It used to be the economic center of Africa,
Africa.
but South Africa surpassed us now
Yes.
since this government took over.
Yes.
So that's bad. So you
our
guys
GDP
cannot
has
vote
gone
for this.
down.
You guys cannot vote for this guy again. Like,
Tell
you guys
them, don't
cannot.
tell us. We know,
I mean,
tell
I'm not
them.
Nigerian, but you cannot, because you have to look at things in long term, not today, not tomorrow, years from now. These all go back to the world. You guys having such a great opportunity of being in the World World Cup and all of these things.
And you cannot have this type
Yeah,
of news.
that's what one
Messing it all
celebrity, I think Faz the bad guy was saying. He said it took him 3 days to get his public voters card.
Yeah.
That if it will take you 3 days to get your card, 3 days is better than 4 years of suffering. So everybody should go get their cards so they can have the right
and
to
Mr.
vote.
Easy too. Mr. Easy went and got his too. I saw him posted on Instagram, and I love that movement of the celebrities like
Trying to use
encouraging
their
the
voice
people
because they have
because the
influence on
youth is the
people
most
now.
too. The youth
Right.
has the highest population as well.
Right.
So if they really listen and follow these celebrities and do what the right thing, then this guy cannot win again.
All right, you
That's
gotta
it.
tell them though.
Tell
Tell them in
them.
the camera.
My Nigerian cousins, please, I beg, I love you guys. I am rooting for you guys, and make the right decision, not just for you, but for the future of your
the
kids
generation to
and your
come.
grandkids. Period.
Thank you.
Don't vote for him.
All right, so let's move on to a much lighter note because this was a little too heavy. Timani, what's going on in the
Davido.
What's going
One
on
of my
with my
very
friend
good
Davido?
guys. Davido, Yaz's best friend, Davido,
love me some Davido.
actually won the BET Award.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yes,
I'm
my
here for
boys.
it.
Yeah, he's not the first to win, but he's actually the first to step on stage.
Listen,
so that
and,
was
and you know
a
what
big
else?
highlight.
And listen, and you know what? Bro beat Stormzy.
Yeah.
Beat Stormzy. He beat
Stormzy.
Stormzy. He beat Stefflon
Stormzy
Don.
is like
Yeah.
a huge.
He's
I mean,
one of the
Stefflon
biggest
Don is a
rappers
new
in London.
artist.
Yeah.
In London.
She's not, I mean, she's a great artist, but at least she's new. But Stormzy is like, he's from Ghanaian descendant, and
Yeah.
he's like the biggest thing in the UK.
In the UK.
Probably one of the biggest rappers in all of Europe.
Europe,
So
yeah.
for Davido to beat Stormzy, I was
Stormzy,
like,
Stefflon Don, Casper
Wow.
Jones.
Yes.
He beat all of
Tiwa
them.
Savage.
Tiwa
Yeah.
Savage. Tiwa Savage is good.
Yeah.
It's good. That's another thing too
Yeah.
in the industry. Like
Yeah.
we know it's a male-dominated industry. If
Yeah,
Davido
definitely.
wasn't in that category, maybe Tiwa
could have
Savage
gotten
and
it.
Stefflon Don will
I
have a
think
tight one.
I think
But Davido
Stormzy
being
would have
there,
probably won.
Davido, and I loved his speech.
I
As in,
loved his
Davido
speech.
actually got on
Oh.
stage. He was emotional, but he didn't forget to talk about Africa.
Yes.
And he told the people, in as much as you guys have influenced our culture, let us influence your culture.
Eat the
Come
food.
to Africa, eat the food,
Wear
wear
the
the clothes.
clothes.
We accept you, okay? We love you.
His speech though could have been slightly more intellectual. I'm just being honest. It could have been.
In what way?
It was
In
great.
what way? You know,
it
you know,
could have
listen
been
to her, listen to-
slightly
In
more
what
intellectual.
way?
He was talking about, oh, let's collab, let's make records. I was like, Davido, you have such a huge platform. Like, but honestly, I think that he didn't think he was going to win. That's what I think. I don't think that the speech was like
Prepared.
like it was planned. And his PR team loses points for that because they should have prepared for it in case he won, being that it was such a big platform. Again, I'm very happy that he won. I like the fact that he did bring up Africa, come to Africa, but it wasn't intellectual enough for me. But then again, he's a rapper. I'm not saying that I expect him to be dumb, but
He's
you
not a
know,
rapper.
he's
What
a
are you
rapper.
trying to say? He's not a rapper.
If
He's an
Fouls,
R&B
let me
artist.
tell you something.
He's a
If Fouls
singer.
would have won that
Exactly.
award,
That's a big point.
Fouls would have been up there like, you know,
He would have said something
brought up
powerful.
some like
Well, Fouls
amazing
actually has won
points.
the award.
Let me say this. I feel listen. That doesn't always work. You preparing the speech because sometimes when you get up there, it sounds very rehearsed.
But you
Hold
don't
on,
have to
let me
prepare,
finish.
but you can make points as in.
Okay, what
Bullets
exactly
and
did
what
you
I
want
wanna
him to
talk
say?
about.
Okay, so it doesn't always work. Sometimes it works, but not always. Sometimes when you get up there, it sounds very rehearsed and it doesn't. I liked it. I like the speech. It came from
too.
the heart, and him saying that let's collaborate is what he knows. He's in the entertainment
Amen. That's
business.
his
He's not
field.
into politics. He's in the entertainment
Again-
business. I know
Was it
that's
what-
your opinion.
Again, I didn't say that I didn't like it. I
No,
didn't
but
say
you-
that I
but you
didn't
said
like
he
it.
loses points
on
I,
the
I
PR
said
loses
that
point.
it could have been better. Like, that's all that I'm saying. I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I'm just saying it could have been better. Example, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the guy, you brought up that topic, when he made the 9 points, when he won.
Okay, Chris Pratt, exactly.
Yeah.
He
No,
gave a
listen.
whole speech.
What about the other guy, Jesse, the half black, half
always
Wait, but do you know that?
I'm not saying it
do you know
doesn't,
that
but
in
I'm
that?
just
Do you know that
saying
in
that it
awards
could have
like
been
that?
more intellectual.
Do you know
That's
that
it.
in that particular award, there is a prompter behind you that gives you 2 minutes.
many ti- yeah.
And it's counting down. If you notice, when he was trying to wrap up his
They
speech,
started
the
playing
mic
the
had
music.
turned. No, when the time now they want to control you. Once the time goes to 0, the mic goes off. They can't hear you anymore.
Well, they
That
ran
was
him
why-
off the stage.
So-
The music,
He
the
wanted-
music came on.
Yeah,
We
he
have
wanted
to
to
also
be
ban it.
natural, and I
Yeah.
think he was okay. The first part he talked about coming to Africa, that's it. What else do you want him to say? You want to talk about the people that they are killing
That's
or
what I want her
politics?
to know.
He can't say all that
yeah.
in 2 minutes.
And for me, we have to bear in mind that this was the very first time an African artist went on stage. You cannot mess it up. You can't go in there trying to be controversial,
And say
and then
everything.
we're gonna lose it next year. You know, you can't always be like that.
So let's
I
not
watched
be
I watched a little behind the scenes of when no, for video of I think
Him.
one of his assistants posted it of when they were about to mention his name. You could tell he was so nervous. Like he was
I
breathing
don't
very.
think he expected to win.
Of
Yeah.
course, you don't
Because
go
I
in
don't
all
thinking
the
think-
nominees
Because
were
even
invited.
he's
And
thinking
all
of
the nominees were
Stormzy.
there too.
Yeah.
Even he was thinking of Storm. How can he be in the same
I
category?
thought
as
it
Stormzy?
was great. I thought it was great.
I didn't
But
expect
for me,
him
I
to
would
win.
say that for him to say come to Africa, try the clothes, wear the clothes, try the food, wear the clothes.
And
He
he's
didn't
not
wear-
wearing it.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was
I
like.
picked
But
that
that
that's
was
what I mean. It's like there's so much more to Africa than our food and our clothes. You know what I
But at least
mean?
they
Like,
start
he
from
said
there.
something.
They
you know,
start
from
from there.
there.
but again,
Food
I
is-
do like your point about how, you know, maybe he didn't do it because he doesn't want to be too controversial.
yeah, that's the
You know
first
what I
time.
mean?
It's
But
live.
if Rosa Parks didn't, you know, go to the front of the bus, we still will be sitting at the back of the bus. But again, it's still congrats to Davido. And actually, not just Davido for the BET Awards. This year, for the first time at the BET Awards, I saw a lot of African artists on the red carpet.
That was the whole theme of the BET Awards. It was
Can I
Wakanda.
finish?
No, I was just adding to
Oh,
what
it
you
was
were saying.
Wakanda?
It was like Wakanda
Yeah, that
theme,
was the
African
concept.
theme. That was the whole concept.
But
That's why.
also, I'm not sure if you know Men's Gold, which is the partner
Yes.
company for Xylophone Media, where Stonebwoy is signed and a couple of other
Beckham.
Ghanaian artists are signed onto that. They've actually been partnering up with the BET Awards for a couple of years now, and he actually this year had his own event, and it was a really, really nice event. And at the event, Men's Gold is a gold company, like they mine gold and they sell gold, so they made like little plaques with the nominees' faces in gold, which was like really, really cool. You know, I just think that that's a major step. I really admire that guy. I think that he's going to be like our Africa's Diddy or like Africa's Master P, because he has the record label and he's really backing the record label with a lot of money, because he flew like 6-8 Ghanaian artists to the BET Awards. He flew publicists.
Becca,
He flew,
Stonebwoy, yeah, all of those.
and then he did the event. All those things cost money to
Right.
actually rent a space in LA and do that. So I just wanted to bring that up too. That I was feeling very, very proud to see our people like. I mean, every year they go, but they're normally like hidden. So it was just very nice to see them
see 'em.
on the major platform.
to see them fully
the red
represented. That was
Africa
awesome.
to the world.
All right,
Yes.
congratulations to Davido and also to our very own Quincy Arthur.
He was
he was nominated, but he didn't win. But we're still proud of you.
Just being
Congrats.
nominated for like the BET International thing is a big deal, period,
Right.
because it's international. So several acts are nominated.
Around the
Nyla
world.
Blackman from Trinidad was nominated. So
Casper
many.
Nyovest.
Yeah, he won, right?
Stormzy, the best new artist.
Yeah.
No, the winner was from South Africa.
South
Yeah,
Africa.
he was.
I loved what he wore.
Yes.
Very Wakanda.
He was
Yeah.
no, he
We
was
gotta go,
representing
we
the
gotta move
Zulu
on.
culture.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I thought it was
South
Wakanda.
Africa,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Where's Wakanda? That's a place.
He didn't get to go on the stage. Only Davido
No,
got to go on the stage.
Gradually, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Get there.
All right,
Shout
so
out
on-
to Davido though. Again, that was amazing.
All right, Odera.
Okay, so how many times you get a DM asking for money? Help me, please. I'm in
get
a
that.
financial.
Oh, I got that before.
I get
Well, Uti called out all the social media beggars in a very long post. He said the creators of Instagram did not create the app for begging. And he goes on to explain that he can't be the only one experiencing this, that just because you love and support an artist or celebrity does not mean that you should feel entitled that they should give you out of their money. You really don't know how they're managing themselves, considering how hard Nigeria is already. And he was begging them to please just like stop it. That's not, they're not making their social media lives, bearable. And there's so many pages that, do all these giveaways. They're like, go for him. He's like, go follow those pages that are doing giveaways. Sign up for one of the giveaways and maybe you'll be lucky. Don't beg me because I didn't say I have enough for myself. Just because you see me working and it looks that good doesn't mean it is that good.
Listen, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. I don't see anything wrong with people asking him for money. I'm going to be very honest, because this goes back to what I always say, people showing this lavish lifestyle, Range Rover, this, Bentley, that. You showing all of this on social media, people are going to think you have a lot of money. And if you're driving or you're buying, jewelry, watch, Protect, this, that, I don't see anything wrong with your fans who buy your music, who come to your show, who like your pictures. I don't see anything wrong with them asking. You don't have to give them. You can pick and choose who you want to give to. Nicki Minaj does that a lot. Sometimes people tweet her and she'll randomly pay somebody's college loan, somebody's
many
tuition.
people, right.
Like, it depends on what the money's for. Somebody's asking you to help them pay tuition and you can afford it. Even if you can't afford it, you can give them what you have. But I think I don't think he had to post this, but then again, it's his Instagram. It's his Instagram, so he can post whatever he wants to post.
For me, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, he was just being so dramatic. If somebody keeps asking you for money, you can block them.
Exactly.
You could just block them, set your Instagram in a way, set your Snapchat in a way where only your friends can DM you. And only, this was a bit too much for me.
That was such a great point. He lets people DM him about whatever, and then they're DMing you about money and you're putting them on blast.
But the biggest out there's so many outlets now that you can actually ask for money. You can create your own GoFundMe page. Tell us your story. Listen, No, seriously.
What happened to Visa Bay? Remember
exactly.
Visa Bay?
Visa Bay got her money.
And
Go
Visa
on
Bay
GoFundMe
from the
page.
UK, so-
Tell us your story, your lifetime story, because people love stories out here. Okay, they'll read it, and if it touches their heart, they will give. It could be very annoying because I've had a couple of people DM me trying to be my assistant, getting money from me. Listen.
Johnny only has $2 in his bank account.
I'm not rich yet, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna be out here looking raggedy. No, I'm gonna make sure I look presentable, I look nice, but it doesn't mean that I'm asking people for them to ask me for money.
I've only gotten one of those DMs, and I told the woman, thank you. Like, I'm so grateful that you think I have that much money because I'm really struggling over here.
Amen. I love that. I got one time with a girl that said her mom was in the hospital and they needed money, and I was actually concerned.
Sad story.
So guess what I said? I said, wow. Like, I was very concerned. I said, listen, send me all the hospital information, send me your mom's name. I would have paid the bill. Guess what? The girl never replied because probably there was never a mom in the hospital.
It's I'm a little bit, I'm on the fence.
Yes.
I'm on the fence with regards to this because I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And on another fence, I'm saying he's overdoing it.
Yeah.
Because people ask every day, people beg every day, and the social media has made it easy to connect with the world. You understand? So if you have any need and you feel that somebody is in a position to help that need, it's okay to ask. It's left for that person to either say, I don't have or I will have. But what he's trying to say is, stop feeling entitled. Because most of these beggars, no, listen, let me land on that aspect. Most of these beggars, some feel entitled because when they ask and then you say you can't help, they throw abusive words on you. They start telling you stuff like this, but you are that, you are wicked, don't forget me, so and so. Stop feeling entitled.
Listen, you never know. Maybe they were in the village doing powers for you to be successful.
Oh my God, speaking about that, I had one cousin email me, DM me, because I think I went to a wedding. Y'all know I love weddings. I went to a wedding, I looked not very nice, and then they DM me saying, wow, look at you looking nice and we are here suffering. Blacked? Like, that's like evil. That's like witchy.
Wow.
No. Why would you even do that?
Why would
would you
you think
even
that
want to
way?
make me feel bad because I decided to dress up one day and go somewhere?
When I started ABS show, they say you're making money now. You don't send us money in Africa. I say, wow.
Listen, all I know is closed mouths don't get fed. So my people, do not stop asking for money.
Don't
if
stop
you
asking.
need it,
Jamil.
don't stop
Break
asking. One day, somebody that can actually afford it will give it to you.
But I have a question. Do you think anybody's DMing Beyonce? Can I DM her?
I tried.
She's not
gonna go through.
No,
I mean, can you imagine how Instagram would probably go on fire? Like, if people were
She doesn't
DMing
even
her.
follow anybody, okay? So it
Exactly.
will not work. She doesn't follow anybody on
Wasting your
Instagram.
time. Wasting your time.
Yesterday, I was walking and then I came out of my car and then a lady walked up to my car with a thing and then she was like, oh, can you give me money to eat? And I never give beggars on the street money. I hate because I always feel like they do drugs and stuff like that. So I was like, no. But then as I was walking away, I felt so bad. I was like, damn, I have money in my bag, So I turned around, I walked back to her, and I said, come with me to the restaurant. Anything you want, buy all the food you want, I'll buy it for you. She walks with me for like 1 block, and then she's like, oh, you know what? I want to go over there. And she just walked away from me.
She needed it for something else and not food.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you need to just lie. At least just give them the money.
I want the
sometimes. Give me the cash.
And the people that I respect the most are those ones at Times Square. I say need money for weed.
I love that.
I would give you
Respect.
money.
Yeah,
I would give you
respect.
money because I get it. Like at least
Give me
you're
money
being
because I'm too
honest.
lazy to work. I love that. It's honest. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And I felt like
the world is not honest itself.
And I felt like the
beg.
lady was so stupid because if that was me, I would have went and I would have bought everything on the menu and I would have saved it for later or given it to other people. But
her
Guess
drug
what?
need was
She
more.
wasn't hungry.
No, her drug
was
need
She
a
wanted
drug
to
need.
smoke some weed.
All right, so let me end this show because I have to go and beg for some money.
exactly.
All right?
We need to create a story for our GoFundMe
Exactly.
page.
I'll let you guys know how that goes.
Yeah.
Until next time you're watching Mina TV, this is the AVS show. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.